I'm talking about a prophet of God that God called. My goodness. He goes on to say, he was unto me as a bear lying in wait, and as a lion in secret places. Have you ever been to a place that you couldn't get rid of bitterness? You knew it was wrong. You prayed against it. You hated yourself for it. Have you ever been to a place that you couldn't just get away from anger? You didn't want to be angry. You didn't like being angry. Jeremiah was living with bitterness. He was living with anger. And do you know something else this prophet had? He had depression. Have you ever had it just come over you like a cloud? Stick to you like glue. And no matter what you did, no matter what soap you used, no matter what clothes you put on, no matter what you tried to do to give yourself a little joy, it was there. It followed you. It woke up with you. It went to bed with you. It went to work with you. It went to school with you. I don't know how many of you, besides myself, is feeling this message. If you're not feeling it, then maybe you're just brand new to God. If you're not feeling it, maybe you're just brand new to life. Because even if you're not in God, you've experienced these things.
Amen.
I'm telling you, this prophet was in a terrible place. And he's on the way out. There was no door. He was hedged. The stones were hewn by God and placed around him. Then, if that wasn't bad enough, he says here in verse 11, he hath turned aside my ways, and he's pulled me in pieces. My emotions are just tearing me apart. One day I'm on fire. The next day I'm not. The third day I'm somewhere in between. The fourth day I'm ready to pray. The fifth day I can't pray. The sixth day I'm ready to give. The seventh day say I can't. And then he says he turned me aside my ways. He pulled me, tore me to pieces. He hath made me desolate. Now my money bag now has holes. Don't matter what I do, where I go, the jobs I get, it doesn't matter what extra income I find, I'm still desolate. I'm still barren. I can never get enough money. I think I've got enough. I think, okay, now I'm set. Now I can pay my bills. And then something happens. The car breaks. The washer goes out. The dryer doesn't work. You understand? The baby gets sick. Can someone sew up my holes, please? Can someone sew up my holes so that I can at least keep some of the blessings of God, that I can at least try to crawl my way out? You understand? Crawl my way out. Scratch up the floor. Scratch the stones. Maybe I can find a crack. Come on, brother. Maybe I can find just a crack. Maybe somehow I can just gnaw at it enough to where it'll crumble before me and I can see daylight at least, because I'm tired of the darkness. Now we get to the title. I'll give you a moment. Now we get to what the prophet remembered.
Yes. Amen.
You see, while you're sitting in darkness, you don't remember who God is, what God is. All we dwell and focus on is the affliction, the bitterness, the anger, the depression, being desolate, can't find God. But finally the prophet Finally, the prophet Jeremiah, he said this in verse 21, Sister Stephanie, verse 21. After all of this, I don't know how long it was. 21 verses later, after he experienced darkness, after he couldn't get out of the hedge, after everything he did was desolate, it came to ruin, it came to naught. He dealt with bitterness, he dealt with anger, he dealt with depression, he dealt with chastisement, he endured affliction.
Amen.
Finally, in verse 21, he says, "This I recall to my mind. Therefore I have hope." While he was sitting in darkness, he had hope.
Amen.
Come on now.
Amen.
While he was enduring and battling anger, bitterness, depression, now he's saying, "I have hope." Oh, while he was being afflicted, no, I have hope. While there were still holes in his money bags, he was saying, "But I have hope. Even though I cannot find God and my prayer doesn't reach him, yet I have hope." Isn't that what you need to say when you're in your darkest hour? When nothing works, prayer doesn't work, money doesn't work, love doesn't work, alcohol doesn't work, love doesn't work. Come on, your logic doesn't work. The preacher doesn't work. The ensemble doesn't work. The Sunday school teacher, that nothing works.
Thank you, Jesus.
You can't even escape it when you sleep.
Thank you, Jesus.
So why don't you say, I recalled in my mind. Therefore, I have hope. When he said that, I want you to, hopefully she hadn't gone good. You just watch out. It didn't happen until he recalled to his mind and he said, "Therefore I have hope." Nothing changed in his life until he said, "Therefore I have hope." Nothing changed in his life until he remembered who God is. Hallelujah! God is the God in the darkness. He's the God in the light. God is the God in the affliction. And he is God. Give God praise. When you remember who God was. Therefore he said, "I have hope." And immediately, verse 22.
It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed.
Yes.
I remembered, therefore I have hope. It's because of the Lord's mercies. Even though I'm in darkness, I'm still alive. Even though I'm afflicted, I am not destroyed. Even though something I do works, I'm still breathing. Even though I can't find God, He's still there. His mercy endures forever. I'm telling you things, when He said I have hope, things begin to change. You need to start saying I don't have hope and begin to say I do have hope. Quit saying nothing will change and say everything's going to change. Next time you sit in darkness, the next time you experience anger, bitterness, and depression, the next time your money has wings and it goes to where you don't even know where, next time your prayers are dead ends, stop what you're doing and think of this message and say, "Therefore, I have hope."
Amen.
Why?
Because his compassions fail not.
Don't you know that the Lord is long-suffering? Don't you know He is merciful and kind? Don't you understand, even though God brought me there, and brought the prophet there, and brought you there, oh, I've got hope. Because His mercy endureth forever.
Amen.
And His compassions fail not. Now look what the Jeremiah said. After he said, "I have hope," he begins what? With mercy?
Yeah.
Because it's not deserved, and it cannot be earned.
Amen.
And then he says, God's compassions, not His, fail not. Then he says, verse 23.
They are new every morning. Great is thy
Now
faithfulness.
listen, we've heard it quoted before. We got to be careful. It does not say they are renewed every morning. It does not say that. It says that every morning, whether I'm in darkness, whether I'm in anger, whether I'm in bitterness, whether I'm in depression, whether I'm in affliction, whether I'm in chastisement, whether nothing I do works. I have no money because every time I get it, it goes like a drink of water. It doesn't matter, friend. Every morning that I live, every morning that the sun rises,
They are new.
they are new.
Every morning.
Every morning, His mercies are new. Not renewed. Not renewed. They're brand new. His compassion is brand new. It didn't matter whether I didn't find His compassion yesterday. It didn't matter if I wasn't walking in His mercy yesterday. That's gone. Today, they're new again. Not renewed. They're new again. They're brand new. They're fresh. They're not stale. They're there for me to hope in, because that's what the prophet said. I call it to mind. Therefore, I've got hope. And when he said that, God said, okay, what took you so long?
Yes, Lord.
Amen.
God put him through all of that so that he could recall to mind
That's right.
who God is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Amen.
Is anybody really getting this, or is this just preaching to me?
Good.
God brings you places that you can't stand. And you never say, I had hope, so God just keeps you there. Until you learn. Great is His faithfulness. And I promise you, when you begin to walk and say, I'm reminded how good God is. I'm going to get this message and I'm going to play it. And I'm going to endure the first part because it's real. I didn't care too much for the first part, but when the preacher got to verse 21, something got to move. Something. You're all different now. You're all smiling now. You're standing now. Why didn't you stand when I talked about the affliction? Why didn't you smile when I talked about chastisement? Why didn't you talk? You'll smile when I talked about being in darkness and hedged about your ways doesn't work. Because evidently you didn't call to mind where I was going. Because you just wanted to stay there. You're so used to it, it scares you when you take a step out.
That's true.
Jesus.
Whew, my goodness. Here's a prophet. I don't see where he's out of darkness yet, friend. I don't see where the affliction is ended. I don't see where the hedge is open. I don't see where the Lord is saying, okay, I'm answering you. No, He recalled it.
That's right.
He recalled it to mind. God didn't speak to him and said, how come you're not opening me? God, I recall that. It's like the prodigal son. I came to my senses.
Amen.
Why don't you come to your senses? Well, I said, why don't you come to your senses? I know that the other churches really don't have hope. I know you've tried some other things in other churches, other religious orders, and I know that they speak a good game, and for a moment it may help you a little bit. It tickles your ear, it makes you feel good for a moment till you get home, till you get back on the job, till you start fighting your day-to-day battles, you start wrestling with your children. If you're not careful, you start wrestling with your spouses. But I'm talking about real hope, friend. I'm talking, you know what hope means? Some of you should know this. The acronym of hope. For having overcome the power of the enemy. Hope. It's joined to faith. Hope is not right now. Faith is right now. Let me teach you something. When Jeremiah was saying, therefore I have hope, he wasn't saying, okay, instantly it's going to change. That's not what he was saying. I have hope for the future. It will be better. That's what hope is. Hope is in the future. Faith is now.
Amen.
He spoke his faith by saying, therefore, I recall to my mind, therefore I have a future. Can I say that again? Therefore I have a future. Glory to God. Now, I might step on somebody's toes here, but it came to my heart and I'm going to say it. Now, there are some churches that have named their churches Destiny. Friend, they don't have a destiny. Not the same destiny I have. They got a destiny, but it's not the same one I have. Because God has promised me that if I'm born again the Bible way, and I retain the hope even in darkness, that I have a destination. I have a destiny that one day I'm going to meet face to face.